this video we will talk about the aptitude test conducted by IIM Indore for admission to IPM, that is Integrated Program in Management. This entrance exam is popularly known as IPM 80, that is IPM Aptitude Test. It has only two sections. Till 2015 it was a paper based exam. From 2016 onwards they have shifted it to online pattern. So, it has the standard two sections are verbal ability and quantitative aptitude. Now, it does not look as simple as the statistics say. So, verbal ability, though relatively it is easier, it consists of all the important elements which are popularly asked in all the entrance exams. These elements are reading comprehension, grammar based questions, vocabulary based questions and verbal reasoning based questions. So, in all there are 40 questions in verbal ability and 60 questions in quantitative aptitude. So, among those 40 questions again vocabulary will play a very dominant role. So, around 16 to 80 questions on vocabulary is expected out of 40. So, it is close to 40-45% of the total entrance exam. These vocabulary based questions will be divided into standard types, which is synonyms, antonyms, analogies, filling the blanks. Though level of difficulty of vocabulary will be slightly higher, but questions based on filling the blanks is something which you will be able to guesstimate in case you are really well prepared. There is a possibility that you can guesstimate. For hardcore synonyms and antonym based questions, you need to strengthen your vocabulary level. It is not going to be easy. Generally, it looks really easy because it is less time consuming. Secondly, questions based on grammar. This requires a thorough understanding of the concepts of grammar and it is not going to be easy to score. It is always easy to attempt a grammar based question, but it is not easy to score. So, this particular area can also be considered as moderate to tough. Third is reading comprehension. Surprisingly, in last 2 years, that is 2015 and 2016, we have not seen a tough reading comprehension passages being asked. So, anyways, we cannot make any judgment on the basis of this. We have to be prepared on tougher level reading comprehension questions also. Typically, the breakup is around you can expect 2 to 3 passages having 4 to 5 questions each. So, 8 to 12 questions on reading comprehension, 16 to 18 questions on vocabulary, 5 to 6 questions on grammar, and rest of the questions are based on verbal reasoning. So, you have questions on parajumbles, you have questions on critical reasoning, you have questions on passage continuation, or surprisingly last year there was one question on passage discontinuity or out of the context. Now, these type of questions are generally asked in exams like CAT and ZAT. So, this was quite surprising, but there was only one question. So, hence nobody noticed it really well. Now, coming to quantitative ability, it has 60 questions and again it has a huge variety of questions. Overall, the typical perception about the quantitative section is that it is really tough, primarily because their majority of the takers of this exam are from commerce background and they find maths slightly tough. As far as expectation of the institute is concerned, they are very clear that they want students who have a strong math background, because the curriculum of IPM is based on 3 pillars and one of them is maths, and throughout the management curriculum maths plays a very vital role in helping you understand different aspects of different management subjects, that is marketing, you have operations. At all these places you will have to use knowledge of mathematics, and hence the expectation is very clear. In fact, in 2016 IIMs did disclose that they are making maths as a mandatory, as a compulsory subject for students applying to IPM, but somehow at the last moment they had to change this rule and they allowed all the students to apply for IPM. But more or less the intentions are clear. If not in 2016, then it can happen in 2017, if not 2017, then it can go to 2018, but someday the maths will definitely become compulsory. Now, looking at the breakup, when you are preparing for the aptitude test for a UG level, you anyways go through arithmetic, algebra and basic arithmetic and basic algebra, but here the proportion of basic arithmetic and basic algebra is less. So, around 6 to 8 questions on basic arithmetic, around 6 to 8 questions on basic algebra. So, chapters like percentages, ratio, numbers can be classified into basic arithmetic, percentages like linear, quadratic equations, set theory can classify into basic algebra. there is a good focus on higher algebra, higher arithmetics and modern maths, or you can also call it higher maths. So, chapters which are generally asked in the curriculum of 11th and 12th standard science, or as far as CBSE is concerned, both the syllabus for commerce maths and science maths is same. So, chapters from 11th and 12th standard, but otherwise arithmetic and algebra is generally up to 10th standard level. Now, higher arithmetic will consist of word problem or practical problem based questions, that is chapters like time and work, time, speed and distance. Higher algebra will have questions from permutation, combination, probability, functions, inequalities, natural log, statistics. So, such areas in higher algebra, and in modern maths, limits, matrices and determinants, differentiation, integration, these are the chapters which will be in higher maths, and the proportion of each of them will be somewhere between 6 to 8, 6 to 8. So, when you look at the tough level of difficulty questions, you will have higher arithmetic, higher algebra, modern maths and mixed application based questions. So, you will come across a lot of word problems which will have say geometry and time, speed and distance, both the concepts involved. You will have quadratic inequalities, you will have log and inequalities, you will have statistics and probability being involved. So, there are around 8 to 10 such questions which will have mixed application. So, if you look at the breakup of the 60, so there are 7 to 8 different domains: basic arithmetic, higher arithmetic, basic algebra, higher algebra, geometry and mensuration, coordinate, trigo, modern maths and mixed application based questions. So, all of them are almost evenly distributed with slightly less weightage on basic arithmetic. So, approximately 8, 10, 8, 10, 8, 10 questions in all these zones. This is what makes quantitative section slightly tougher, and hence as far as preparation is concerned, you have to be slightly more competitive in nature, you have to be slightly more aggressive as far as your preparation and practice is concerned. Now, let us come to marking system. This entire set of 100 question, you will be getting 2 hours to attempt this paper, and you will get plus 4 marks for getting the correct answer and minus 1 for getting incorrect answer. So, total score of this paper will be 400 marks because there are 100 questions. There are no sectional cutoffs, so you can score as much as you want from any section, but looking at the cutoffs and looking at the kind of competition, you will have to ensure that you balance both the sections really well. Okay. And this entire 400 question is scaled down to 100 marks ultimately, and the final score that you will get will be on a scale of 100. As I mentioned earlier in this video, that the cutoff was in 2015 was somewhere around 41 point something, in 2015 it was 50 point something. So, if we continue with the same level of difficulty and we expect the same increase in the number of applications, we can expect the cutoff somewhere between 50 to 55 in 2017 again. A very important observation to share over here is about data interpretation based questions. Strangely, in 2016 it was under quantitative aptitude section. So far, that is till 2015, they had not asked a question on data interpretation. So, it was not expected as such, but there were 5 questions on data interpretation, and there is another interesting element that is online calculator. Now, because the exam went online, because it is really heavy on maths, there was an online calculator provided, but we are not sure whether this pattern will continue next year or not. But in case an online calculator is provided, it will be of great help to all the students who are not coming from a math background. So, it will really help. It is a basic version of calculator. So, all your basic multiplication, addition, division can be quickly done. It is not a scientific calculator, but still you can at least find out the square roots and do the basic multiplications quickly. This should definitely help. Last year they had not mentioned something like this, so it was lot of students were really surprised to know that online calculator is available. In fact, lot of students were not even able to use it. Another surprising element that we observed in 2016 pattern. Now, this is one of such case. We cannot make a blanket judgment on the same, but in 2016 there were 4 questions. Those DI based questions were non-MCQ questions. Now, this is again a pattern which CAT follows. So, there are some non-MCQ question, that means you will be given a space wherein you are supposed to key in the correct answer. You will not be given options. Now, this was also not mentioned last year, and again we cannot conclude that a similar pattern will be followed in 2017, but in case there is something like this, a student should not react to it, and they should accept it that yes, something like this is possible. And when you have an online calculator, I do not think so you will find it difficult to derive an exact answer rather than choosing from the options given to you. You may derive the answer and you may key in the answer. So, on online keyboard will also be given to you at that point of time. Now, these two surprises, sometimes if student is not aware about it, sometimes you may react badly and end up losing on the day of exam. Next part of discussion is about knowing the process after the exam is over. So, IIM Indore will be conducting a personal interview on the basis of your profile. So, and the basic expectation will be your focus will be on your academics and extracurricular activities that you have conducted so far. Apart from that, a standard question on why exactly you want to pursue management as a career choice is something which everybody should be expecting on the day of interview. So, once you clear the cutoff, you will be called for an interview. Weightage of written exam, that is IPM 80, is 60% in your entire admission process. So, rest of the 40% is on your performance of interview. As far as eligibility is concerned, you just need to have 50% in your +2. You should have appeared and from any board, it does not matter. All you need is just 50%, but your performance in the entrance exam matters a lot, because it carries 60% weightage in your entire admission process. Now, coming to the most standard frequently asked questions, one is with reference to exam. Now, as I mentioned, the exam has gone online. So, please select your center carefully. You will have to reach the center at least an hour in advance. There will be a biometric process which will be followed before you are allowed to write the test. For that it will take around an hour. Most of these online centers will be in the outskirts of the city. So, plan your travel accordingly. Please carry a valid and original identity card. Now, there were a lot of instances last time, because it was an online center, it was been outsourced to an agency. So, they were very strict in implementing this rule. They were not allowing students without a valid identity card. So, please ensure you are carrying a valid ID card on the day of exam. Once the exam is over, start preparing for personal interview immediately. Do not wait for results. Generally, result is expected within 20-25 days of the exam, and interviews are expected somewhere in June. Now, you cannot, because the gap between the result and your interview date will be approximately 8 to 10 days. So, it is very obvious that you would not, 8 to 10 days are not sufficient enough for the kind of competition that we are looking at it. Typically, IIMs will follow a ratio of 1:10. That means, for 120 seats that they have, they will be calling approximately 1200 students for the personal interview, and out of that that is 1200 students. So, those 1200 students will be further filtered, and final admission offer will be offered to 120 students, and there will be some waitlisted students also. That is it for IPM aptitude test. Please watch out for the important dates and to ensure you do not miss out on the deadlines, and in case you have any further query, please mention the same in the comment section of this video. Thank you and all the best for your exam.